to get green grass in those areas. But subhanallah, it's coming back green. And it is coming back green. And subhanallah, of what I've heard, yes, in Saudi, slowly, because Saudi is the biggest country in the Arabian Peninsula, there's a lot of green areas coming back. And rivers. And Allahu Alam, how does that river happen? Because, like for example, in Libya, they just dug this big massive river all the way from the Mediterranean Sea to the south of Libya, which is thousands of kilometers. And that what could happen also. And it could be, the hadith says, will return back grain and rivers. It could be done naturally, it could be done by man-made things. And will come. And believe me, from the way it looks at it, it's happening. Another sign of the Day of Judgment. A lot of true dreams. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Ar-ru'ya sadiqa lil-mu'min." A lot of true visions. Okay? There's two types of dreams. One we call vision, the other one called dream. One we call ru'ya, the other one called hulum. The Prophet ﷺ described the ru'yas from Allah. Hulum is from the shaitan. That means the two types of dreams. One is visions from Allah Azza wa Jal. And because Allah is the truth, what comes is truth. And the other one is a dream. Hulum. Hulum is a dream from the shaitan. It could be a lot of types of dreams. Okay, it could be a lot of types of dreams. One of the signs of the Day of Judgment, a lot of the true believers, and again I'll say, the true believers, not anyone that sits in the pub 24 hours and comes and sees true dreams. A true believer that fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and his heart is connected to Allah Azza wa Jal, they'll see dreams. True dreams. They see it today. Subhanallah, wake up the next day. It's like, okay, what they saw in the dreams happens in front of them. A lot of signs Allah shows them in the dreams. And subhanallah, you hear that a lot. Especially when you study in an environment of scholars, and especially pious scholars, you hear them all the time talking about dreams. Like when I was in Syria, and alhamdulillah, like between scholars, there's good scholars and there's bad scholars. I'm not going to say all of them are good. But wallah, a lot of times I'll try and push myself between those good scholars, although we're nothing to them, but I'll try and be around them. And subhanallah, you hear them talking about a lot of dreams. I saw this in the dreams, I saw that in the dreams. And subhanallah, it's becoming more common. It's coming a lot. And subhanallah, you think of it saying, wallah, it is a sign of the Day of Judgment. Where the Prophet ﷺ said that the believers will start seeing a lot of true visions. Another sign of the Day of Judgment. A man from Qahtan, a place in North Saudi, will appear. A man from Qahtan will appear. And this man will call people that he'll claim that he's a prophet. He'll claim he's a prophet. And the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith that the Day of Judgment will not come until 30 people call for the prophecy. 30 people claim they are prophets. And the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, "La nabiyya ba'di." There's no more prophets after me. And one of them is Qahtan, the other one is called, like a lot of names. This is one of the main ones because the Prophet ﷺ mentioned this in one hadith. His name is Qahtan. Okay? Maybe his name is Qahtan, maybe he comes from a place called Qahtan. Another sign of the Day of Judgment, قتال اليهود ونطق الشجر والحجر. The war against the Jews, that will come to a time with the Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ said, لن تقوم الساعة حتى يقاتل المسلمون اليهود. That the Day of Judgment will not come until the Muslims fight the Jews. Until the Jew will hide behind the tree or a rock. And then that tree or rock will say, Ya Abdullah, ha huna Yahudi wara'i fata'ala faqtul. O the servant of Allah, he is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. What does the rock and the tree say? Or Australian or Lebanese? Or what? He says, Ya Abdullah. Na ya Muslim. Ya Abdullah is some level higher than being a Muslim and a true servant. Ya Abdullah, O the servant of Allah, he's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. إلا شجرة الغرقد. The Prophet said, except one tree called the tree of Gharqad. I don't know what it's called in English. But this tree, I've seen it, is the tree, okay, it's not like it's a tree with more branches and it's got small leaves that you can't see anything from behind it. You find it here a lot in Australia. Go to Bondi, you find it there. You find small leaves, okay, small leaves and a lot of branches, okay. Small leaves and a lot of branches. It's not the long tree. It's not the long tree with a long, what do they call it? Trunk, with a long trunk. Okay, it's like short trunk with a lot of leaves and a lot of branches. Small leaves, not big leaves. And subhanallah, you ask the Palestinians, or ask the Jews, or ask anyone that lives in Palestine or Israel, and ask them about that tree, and they tell you it's more than it's more common than anything else, that tree. And the Jews themselves, they planned that because they know the ending is coming, and they know that's one of the things that could protect them and preserve them is that tree. And it's very common now in Palestine or Israel. They plant a lot of it. They plant a lot of it. The Jews know. The Prophet Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم. One brother saying that one brother in Palestine promised that one tree did speak out once and said, he's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. And this is coming. The Prophet ﷺ said, لن تقوم الساعة, that the day of judgment will not come until the Muslims fight the Jews, and the Jew will hide behind a tree or a plant or a rock, and this tree or plant will call, Ya O servant of Allah, he is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. And subhanallah, I was saying that Allah Azza wa Jalla said, يَعْرِفُونَهُ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاءَهُم. The Jews know. The Jews know. And they know what's true. And they know what's the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described, they know Him, they know Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam more than what they know their own kids. They know Muhammad alayhi sallam more than what they know their own kids. That one of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhu asked one of the Jews who became Muslim, he told him, is it true that you used to know Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam more than your own kid? He said, yeah, because Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was revealed from the skies. Our kids, I don't know where my wife or my mom got him from. Yeah, I don't know where my wife got my kid from, but Muhammad came from the skies. Yani, it was revealed as a sign from the sky. No, he was born from the skies. Yani, Allah Azza wa mentioned and revealed that and the revelation comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And subhanallah, they do know this. How many stories are here? Like Wallah al-Azim, how many times I've heard this? That the Jews say themselves that you will not defeat us until Salat al-Fajr becomes like Salat al-Jum'ah. And that's when the Jews say, when the Jews start saying, when the Yahud, because the Yahud are the first enemies of Islam, and Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لَتَشَهَدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودُ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. You'll find the most aggressive, or you find the strongest enemies, or the first enemies towards the believers are the Jews and the ones, and the mushrikeen. And subhanallah, how many people tell me that all the time ask in Israel, because I come from a Palestinian background, and I hear a lot. How many times I hear that all the time ask, how's Salat al-Fajr? Salat al-Fajr, is there a lot of people Salat al-Fajr? 1 or 2 lines, okay, forget it. They sit down and relax. Okay, how many lines? Okay, 1 or 2, forget it. When they start saying Salat al-Fajr becoming like Salat al-Jum'ah, that's when they start saying, pack up all the gear and they start to leave. Yeah? Subhanallah. So see how victory comes? Victory doesn't come, ya akhwan, doesn't come by money, or doesn't come by numbers. It comes by iman and faith. And subhanallah, how many hear that? I want to go for jihad, I want to find the path of Allah, I want to kill these people, I want to kill these people and that. And subhanallah, you tell him, brother, here, come to Salat al-Fajr. What time? 5 o'clock. Ooh, I'll be asleep. Subhanallah, you can't even sacrifice 15 minutes of your sleep. You want to go and sacrifice your life, and you're making a fool of yourself. You can't sacrifice 15 minutes of your sleep. You're not even listening, you're not even paying anything. Just 15 minutes, wake up, come and pray and go. Subhanallah, you want to go and sacrifice your life? You want to sacrifice your life for 15 minutes, you can't? Allahu Akbar. Wallah, if the Shaykh on Friday Jum'ah says, Friday Jum'ah, this mosque, when there's 4,000-5,000 people, says, Wallah, whoever comes to Salat al-Fajr will give him not $50, $20. $20 for every person that comes to the mosque of Fajr. Wallah, he'll be 2 hours there standing in a queue, standing in a line, trying to come into this mosque. And mashallah, you find the mosque, not Salat al-Jum'ah, you find the like Salat al-Eid.